Hello everyone, and thank you for clicking on my vid. Disclaimer here in the beginning, this is my first video since 2013 that has been pre-edited, so please have mercy on me. In regards to Nerd Nation, we've been really working hard to bring some more content to our YouTube channel, Discord, Facebook page. So if you have any suggestions or positive critique, but other than that, let's please enjoy the show, which is going to be my top 10 things that I loved about Young Justice Season 3. My number 10 is going to be the relationship between Big Blue himself, Superman, and Superboy. I really like in this season how Connor's character has really progressed and grown from his engagement to McGann to his increasing relationship with Superman to be more of a brotherly relationship rather than a father-son like in the comic books. I really also do appreciate how he is now becoming more of a backdoor leader as well as a mentor to some of the younger and more impulsive members of the team. I just feel like all in all, Superboy's storylines from season 1 up till now have really come full circle and shown some great closure. My number 9 is going to be the surprise appearance of Jason Todd on Infinity Island during the infiltration of the covert group trying to find Tara Markov. I'm hoping in future seasons we'll be able to see a subplot with Jason Todd as the Red Hood versus Dick Grayson and Tim Drake. There was also a surprise little cameo in Damian Wayne with Talia.
Of all mankind, of one man. The history of human evolution, traced with the light of truth through time immemorial, leads back to a time of darkness. And to him, man has known him by many names, but the truths in these pages will define him as the savior called
Vandal Savage.
My number 8 is going to be the whole episode of Season 3, Episode 7, which is entitled Evolution, where we go back through time and we get to see the origin in this universe of Vandal Savage. I find it very interesting that they made Vandal Savage so pivotal throughout the history, and I'm sure in the comic books he's been all these things and more. I also like the parallel storytelling with him having to use the war world to defend the solar system from an alien invasion. There's also a touching moment at the end of the episode where Vandal Savage has to put down one of his daughters due to the fact that her mind being gone. And you could kind of in his face that he begrudgingly does this out of love and mercy. This is one of the storytelling aspects of Young Justice that I've always loved. My lucky number 7 is going to be all the callbacks this season to previous seasons, from Icicle Jr. and Superboy's callbacks to season 1 in episode 13 regarding Miss Martian and the infiltration of Belle Rev as the Terror Twins, to Nightwing giving the We Are Not Happy speech in episode 6 that Batman also gave the team in season 1 in episode 2, as well as little callbacks like Princess Gardita of Latava as Gar's girlfriend, and the Longbow Hunters Harper cohort in episode 4 was just a lot of good back and forth with Grayson and the Harpers. My number 6 is going to be Kaldur transitioning to Aquaman and the leader of the Justice League at the beginning of this season. I think it was a natural progression from the last couple seasons for him to become the leader of the Justice League. He was the leader of the team in season 1 and was an integral player in the infiltration of the Light in season 2. Throughout the season, he showed a great resolve to make hard decisions as well as bending the rules when need be. I think he's honestly the perfect hybrid between Superman and Batman when it comes to leading the League. My number 5 is going to be The Outsiders as a whole. I really enjoyed The Outsiders as being more of a public team by Beast Boy as their leader, Kid Flash, Blue Beetle, Wonder Girl, Geo-Force, and Static Shock. I think this was a great mixture of team members, as well as they had a lot of outside influences coming in. I like the dynamic of the team, as well as their Hollywood hideout that really resembled the Mount Justice back from season 1. I got a lot of Teen Titans / Young Justice vibes from this team, and I'm glad that they went this route this season, because although the covert team is really awesome, having a public team is also a good diversion for the covert teams. I also like how they use social media to publicize the public team, as well as use more of a social media Cold War with Lex Luthor. I thought it was very interesting how they integrated all of that into this Outsiders group. It made it a little bit different from past superhero cartoon show storylines. Number 4 is going to be more of a specific member of the Outsiders, Garfield Logan, aka Beast Boy. They did a really good job at portraying him as the leader of the Outsiders in this season. I feel like his character's grown a lot, because normally Beast Boy is more portrayed as a comedic character.
No! God, please, no! No!
Whereas in this, he's more portrayed as the serious frontrunner, and it's shown massive character progression as well as the influence that Miss Martian has rubbed off on him over the years. He's led the team into some crazy situations, made some hard calls, and on top of that, was willing to take a back seat when somebody else had the opportunity to shine. I feel that shows a lot in his character, and his fight with Granny Goodness towards the end of the season was just another moment showing that Garfield Logan was definitely the right choice to make as leader of the Outsiders. Now we're in the top 3. We're going to have to up our game. And with this one, I really wanted to look to the future of Young Justice, because at the end of this season, we got our number 3, which is Black Lightning becoming the leader of the Justice League. I was actually quite surprised that they pulled this. Black Lightning's always been a character who has not been super front runner, but I think it was a great call. Another thing that I really appreciated about this is that it was a character we had been with this whole season and was building up more and more character. And honestly, although it didn't surprise me, it did surprise me, and it's kind of hard to explain that. I really like the character of Black Lightning in this season only because he's gone through a lot of trauma and a lot of back and forth on who's really being upfront with him and who isn't. He's had a lot of ups and downs in this season. He's been used and had triumphs, but all in all, I think he came out on top. And becoming the league leader, I think he's going to do great things. And on a small note, it is really nice to see that an African-American leader was passing the leadership on to another African-American leader. I don't think we've seen that in any previous superhero iterations of teams, and hopefully it's a benchmark that will be set for the future for other superhero shows. Number 2 on my list seems like a small thing, but it actually means a lot. And it's that the Young Justice show has aged up with us. When this show first came on, show was more geared towards teenagers and young adults. Now that the show has aged up a bit, it shows us more. It shows us blood, it shows us gore, it shows us cleavage, it shows us sexual innuendos. And those things are there just because those are real life. And the one thing I appreciate about all of it is they don't hold our hand. They say that we know that our fan base has now grown up. We're not gearing this towards kids, and we're not going to make the same mistake as the first Young Justice and get tackled down by toy sales and making sure that the kids can see it. I really appreciate that they take this seriously, and the content that they put out feels authentic to real life, even though it is a cartoon. And finally, my number 1 from this season is going to be anything that involves Wally West this season. I wasn't a huge fan of the fact that Wally West faded away into the Speed Force at the end of season 2. I didn't think it would have too much of a payoff other than him just coming back in season 3 or them using it as a crutch in this season. But honestly, I feel like I actually got choked up at parts during Dick Grayson's fever dream when he was fighting alongside Wally West, kind of remembering back to season 1 times, and during the episode where Artemis goes into an illusionary world for Zatanna and Miss Martian's help, and basically Artemis gets to live out a whole life with Wally West. This is a kind of depth that this show can get to when its hands are not shackled by TV ratings or time limits. I can't say enough at how much I appreciate the fact that this show has taken its fan base very seriously, and they know that we've invested in these characters. And even though we don't know it, they know it. And they've really done a great job at doing some superb writing this season and making us care about these characters. It's a cartoon, yes, but we've put a lot of emotional effort into these characters. If you look at all the characters so far, Dick Grayson and Artemis have really shown that this show can go to the depths of any superhero show or movie, to be honest. I feel like this show is really progressed in a way, now that it's on the DC Universe app, that can only go up from here and can really become a stellar standout. All in all, Young Justice Season 3 was definitely worth the wait and worth the time. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this top 10. I know it's my first one, my first time being back doing videos, so I appreciate any constructive criticism and maybe some suggestions for the future. Here at Nerd Nation, we also have some other videos coming up, maybe more collaborative with more members. If anyone wants to do any collaborative videos with us, just let us know.
Get those nerds!